So you're a new chair. It's your first day in your new role. You got a new outfit, a new attitude, you did some research, and you even thought about how you might approach things at your new job. So you're ready. Your life as faculty is behind you, and you're ready for just a new beginning. So you begin to think about, well, now that I'm going to be chair, what kind of chair am I? What am I going to do? You quickly realize that you're no longer real faculty. But aren't you? First things first, think about this. What kind of chair are you? So how will you lead? Or maybe think about it this way. How do you want to lead? Will you want to do, this or that? Well, will want to lead and how will you lead are two very different things. But you'll find as you take some steps and you begin your job, you'll figure it out. A good place to start is to think about what type of chair are you? So consider this. So this here is the plain chair. This chair is pretty. It's pretty basic. It's got little to no color. It doesn't move around much. In fact, to move this chair, you have to pick it up and place it where you want it. That's pretty rigid, and actually that's pretty inflexible for a chair as well. Here's another chair. Looks pretty much variation on a theme, right? So this is a little bit more colorful. It's, no longer, really all plain. There's a cushion there. So there's some difference, maybe even a little bit of diversity, panache, if you will, but that's pretty much it. The chair looks good enough, but beyond the surface, there's not much there to distinguish this chair from the previous chair, the plain chair. Next, we have the rocking chair. So, here's a chair that moves. So this chair even has a little bit of color. The chair looks good, right? I mean, it moves, it's comfy, and, it probably feels good when you rock. It's good to look at. Heck, it might even be a little bit pretty trendy. But think about this chair. It moves in two directions only, and you still have to pick it up and place it where you want it, just like the plain chair. So this chair, despite its evolution from the plain chair, still has its limitations. Say hi to the old chair. Yeah, it's pretty traditional. It's really comfy though, and pretty much everyone loves it. I mean, what's not to like, right? Lots of padding, it's very roomy, it's a little bit oversized. The problem with this chair is that, well, it doesn't quite fit in and it's pretty set in its ways. Students and new faculty might look at this chair and say, yeah, it's comfy and all, but I want something a little more updated and comfy. I mean, if it's going to be old, it better be mid-century modern and on sale, right? We're happy to keep these old comfy chairs around. I mean, they're tenured and all, so they're not going anywhere, but maybe at least change the fabric or, you're the chair now, so we'll let you figure that out another day. What we need is a chair that's flexible, movable, doesn't need any lifting, doesn't necessarily look all that different from all the other chairs, but fits in well with the rest of the team. Consider this rolling chair. This chair is movable, it's flexible, it looks like most other chairs, but it also has a cushion for those, well, hard to handle jobs. For most, this could probably be the Goldilocks of chairs. So at this point, you've pretty much decided, yeah, I'm going to be this kind of chair. So the next thing you've got to do is really decide in your new job, in your new position as department chair, you got to think about, talking to your fellow chairs and your faculty about your plans. Communication is going to be pretty important to get your point across. After all, change is hard. With your new role, you'll have to think about ways to tell your story so that you can make new stories, preferably together. This usually means getting in a group, meeting in meetings, having conferences, and getting to know each other. Sometimes you don't all agree, and you'll notice that some people are rocking chairs, and some people are plain chairs, and some people are different chairs, but at the end of the day, they're all chairs. You might work across disciplines and figure out that, well, you have your differences, but at the end of the day, also, you have some commonalities and the same purpose to educate. Sometimes, though, this happens. So you run into this sort of shady chair where, you may not have the best of relationships and things get off to a rocky start. Some people are difficult to manage, and, managing change process, stress, personalities, all comes with the job of being chair. So be patient and talk it through. Think about solutions to communicate with each other privately or in a group to where you can come with a good consensus. Open dialogue and setting expectations privately can lead to an amazing chair experience. So you got to your new job and you notice this. Everyone is in a different direction, no one's on the same page, and it's really hard to manage this kind of stress. You hoped you had walked into this, but that hardly ever happens. You need to think about building community. That's the next part. There are so many ways that you can do this. Thinking about bringing people together in different ways, in different setups, different orientations, different atmospheres and environments, informally and more formally. Each way of communicating presents its benefits. However, you also want to be careful for arranging people and leading in ways that seem so stringent and so strict where people really can't be free and able to make their own decisions. Setting up structures like this where the chair leads a group of people that for the most part can't exist without each other doesn't help anybody. And then you also have to think about not leading like this. Being alone and isolated also keeps you from getting your message across. You're a great chair after all. Don't be afraid to add wheels or a rocker or change your color. Be open and patient. Look and listen to your team. You're off to a great start. Now, what about the students?